Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. So we have officially started, commenced, begun, kicked off, flicked the switch, whatever way you want to call it, but we have done one or maybe all of those for the final storyline ever for The Flash. Now that first part, or episode, of course, softly, I guess you could say, introduced the antagonist for this storyline, as well as setting up the beginning of the end with the tying up of that night when Nora was killed by Reverse Flash, and sort of giving Barry closure around that whole situation for the most part. But it will be in this week's episode, or this week's upcoming episode, where we should see that storyline ramp up a bit with this very familiar antagonist, who might not be that familiar come the end of the storyline despite looking familiar, but that's a wait and see. But over the past couple of days, we got the first official teaser, and I guess just say promo material, for the final ever episode of The Flash. That of course being the series finale, or episode 13. And I'd assume this will be the first of quite a few pieces of promo material for this particular episode, seeing it is the series finale. It depends, you can't really predict what they're going to do, but because it's a Flash on the CW season 9, I think they might do a bit, but it's a wait and see. I don't want to speak too early. Now, as you'd expect, seeing this is the first, it is, of course, the synopsis or description for the episode, but it also opens the door to some discussion and just expectations heading into this final ever episode. So as you'd expect, based off last episode's title, this episode is also a part of the A New World storyline, but it is called A New World Part 4, and here is that synopsis. The final run. The Flash, the fastest man alive, is tasked with his greatest challenge yet, to save the timeline and save existence. Friends, old and new, gather for an epic battle to save Central City one last time. But yeah, obviously throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and I guess expectations and predictions for this series finale, what you want to see the most. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. And of course, if you want to show support, drop a like on the video. It takes 2 seconds. So the first part to really talk about specifically from this synopsis is save the timeline and save existence. So this really makes you wonder, what is Cobalt Blue trying to do? Now, we knew it was going to be very timeline-esque because of what the crystal is doing, and that's going to be connecting to Cobalt Blue eventually, maybe in this week's upcoming episode, or maybe the episode after. That's a wait and see. But we know that we went to the past last episode. Barry was taken there. He didn't go there himself. The crystal took him back there. And it appears maybe the next time we pick up with Barry, he's maybe in the future, because the trailer for this week's episode has Iris in the time vault as if she's sending a message to Barry in the future, and also Barry's still not there in the present day. So he's somewhere, most likely the future. So with the timeline being a very, focused thing, or at least a tool that's going to be used, or it's at threat for the most part throughout this storyline, it makes you very curious as to how it's going to be meddled with, whether it actually is in the future that the time is messed with, or there's a threat that, things could happen in the past as well. I'm not too sure exactly how things are going to happen. But because it also says save existence, it makes you wonder whether things are going to be tried, things are going to be potentially altered that would affect things we're seeing currently on the show in regards to certain people, I guess you could say, maybe even just specifically the Flash. So could we see the erasure or the potential erasure of potential events that we have seen on the show in the past? Something from season 1, something from season 3, something from season 5, something like that. Could there be potential alterings there? Which could maybe tie into things that we've seen in set photos potentially in regards to certain figures, shall we say, showing up again. But yeah, if those things are altered within the past and maybe even potentially the future, I mean, you would think that would heavily alter the timeline we're currently in, especially the characters, whether it's specifically Barry or Iris or whoever it might be. So I'm very interested to see what happens there, because I think Cobalt Blue's main thing is mainly just revenge on Barry, similar to the comics to an extent with the Cobalt Blue storyline, and hurt everyone around Barry that's connected to him. But at the same time, is it going to extend beyond just the present day as well? It has my curiosity, and I can't wait to find out what exactly happens. But obviously the part of the synopsis which made people go, ooh, what's happening there, is when it says friends old and new gather for an epic battle to save Central City one last time. Now, of course, many people are asking, who are these friends, old and new? Now, we know, thanks to set photos, that XS, or Nora, who's also in a previous episode, I think she's at episode 12, she shows up again first, so she's not just in the finale, but XS, Keone, everyone's favorite character, Chillblaine, everyone's second favorite character, Cecile, everyone's joint second favorite character, Allegra, and of course, your boy, Barry, will be in a fight scene against returning villains. But, we see that, we can confirm them, whatever. But what about other old friends showing up? The only old friend there that we haven't seen, currently on the show, I guess is Nora. I guess, and maybe Chillblaine because he bailed a couple of episodes ago, but really it's just Nora or XS, and she's going to be in episode 12 anyway, so who else could be there? Now, we know there will be like an inside team apparently. So when I say an inside team, I don't mean like a inside source or something like that, but a team, I'd assume maybe based in Star Labs or somewhere like that, which I'd assume would be Chester by default, just because he's pretty much like that fill-in person there. Maybe Iris, I guess, depending on what her pregnancy situation is. I don't know if she's given birth at this point or not. She's very close now, but we don't know what the time frame is in the present day from, episode 10 through to 14. It might only be 2 days. Who knows? And then I'd say maybe Jay and Joe and Garrett, because we know they are in the series finale, but they were not at that, well, specifically Jay wasn't at the final fight scene in set photos. So maybe there's something going on with him, some changes there. I'm not too sure. But we just know that they're both in the series finale, so maybe they're in the, the inside team, group as well. But outside of those people, are there any more surprises? Now, one that was not seen in any set photos, might I say, but was slightly seen and then just eventually confirmed was Timeless Wells. So he's been confirmed for this finale. We know Tom Cavanaugh was coming back to play Reverse Flash anyway, so it's not like it's a massive surprise that they'd use Timeless Wells also. But we don't know if it's just for the end of the episode, as like a wrap up for the show, as a goodbye for the series finale, or he does play a part in the finale as well. I mean, if we're dealing with the timeline and the timeline at threat, I mean, Timeless Wells can sort of jump through the timeline as he pleases, so it makes sense that he could show up and maybe help or give some information or maybe even give a warning as well. So it makes a decent amount of sense that he might show up. But outside of that, there's been no other confirmations outside of some other characters that we've already seen show up previous in the season, like Captain Singh, like Joe's going to come back for the finale, and things like that. But outside of that, there's been no other confirmations. But it makes you wonder, are there any more surprises? Now, the big one, and you have to mention the man, the myth, the legend. You have to mention him, Cisco. Is Cisco going to show up? I get asked this so many times. I don't know, so please stop asking me. I honestly do not know at this point if Cisco is showing up. I've asked some people, a handful of people who've given me reliable information in the past, and none of them know. None of them have said no, like as if like, no, he's not being in there. I know he's not 100% going to be there. But no one said, yeah, I think he's going to be there. It's just a big, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. So if Cisco is going to show up, it would make sense that maybe he's a part of that inside team who would have just all recorded stuff in studio, whether it's in Star Labs or wherever it might be. And that's where he does it. And it makes it even feel a bit more suitable if he did the inside stuff and didn't like become Mecha Vibe or anything like that again, because he could do scenes with Timeless Wells and we get some final Wells and Cisco moments if they want to do that. I feel like it'd be the biggest missed opportunity if we didn't get Cisco coming back, but it's very important to remember. You might be like, oh, well, they would have known if he was up there. For those that don't know, it was only announced that Matt Letcher was coming back after they wrapped that episode he was in. So episode 10, Matt Letcher showed up as a Reverse Flash. They'd done that episode. They'd finished filming it, and then they announced that he was coming back alongside Rick Cosnett and Nora West Allen. He'd done. So he'd been up there for a week filming or something like that, and no one knew he was there. And that was the exact same for his appearance in season 8. No one knew he was there. So they've gotten much better at hiding when people are up there in Vancouver. So that could be the exact same for Cisco if he went up there for the series finale. So just keep that in mind. Now, in regards to anyone else, I don't know who would be there. Like, I know you could, Wally, maybe Diggle or something like that, but we already got them in previous episodes. And we know that Wally wasn't going to be there because he was in Australia when they were filming the series finale. So we know he's not in there, at least in regards to filming at that time. Maybe he filmed something in advance. I don't know. That's a wait and see. But I don't think there's going to be anyone, at least of any major note. There could be still some minor surprises, but no one on the level of a Cisco or a Wells or something like that. At least I wouldn't expect it. Now, in regards to the timeline, will there be a slight change in the timeline that we're seeing here because of what Cobalt Blue is doing? Or is it just going to be a simple thing where maybe if they destroy the crystal, it reverses any effects that it had, potentially? Maybe that could be something that's done there. That's just a wait and see. They could do something there. Maybe they wanted to clean something up that was maybe teased in the future that they don't want to happen anymore. and that's something that they leave there. But I just don't know if that's going to be something that happens, but that's a wait and see. Now, the one thing that I think that could change, and a lot of people seem to think that this could be the case as well, some people just don't really care either way it goes, but that's that the birth of Nora is actually the birth of Nora and Bart. We know that Iris got pregnant like 2 or 3 months earlier than she was meant to, so you think that would have some sort of effect on what happens there? So maybe it is Nora and Bart officially become twins rather than Nora being the older sister. So maybe that's what happens there. Once again, that's a wait and see, but it wouldn't surprise me too much if that's a change that happens in this final season in some way. But once again, it's a wait and see. We don't really know too much. We only had one thing of set photos for the finale, and that was that outdoor scene with Team Flash, or the good guys versus the you-know-who guys. So yeah, a lot is actually unknown about what's going on in this finale. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts on this. What do you want to see in the finale? Is there anyone you'd like to see back that either I did mention, you just want to give your thoughts on that, or someone that I didn't mention that you think would be cool to see come back? Let me know in the comment section down below, and just your various thoughts on this final synopsis. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.